Welcome back, guys. It's craft time. I'm so excited about today's video because of the project that we're doing. A couple videos ago, I showed you how I faux distress just using a rougher paintbrush and paint. In this video, I'm going to be doing a distress with chalk paint. So I want to kind of show you what I'm doing with that and how easy it can be for you to try. So let's go ahead and get started. So my boyfriend lives in a house that was built in around the 1950s. It had one owner prior to him. It was a little old lady. When he bought the house from her, she sold him several pieces of furniture to stay with the house whenever he moved in, and left all kinds of knickknacks and things just in closets, like randomly, that she just didn't want and told him to do with whatever he wanted to. There have been all kinds of cool things that he's found, but the one in this video is by far one of my favorites. Whenever he showed it to me, I was so excited. It's beautiful. It's hand carved. You can just tell by all the nicks and the grooves and how, things aren't completely symmetrical. And oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous. On the back of it, where the mirror is, it's leather and it's just stapled in. It's just a gorgeous piece. I believe I'm going to refer to it as a sconce, like the ones that you hang on the wall that either would have like a light or, back in the old days, they would just set a candle on top of it, because I don't know what else to call it. That's what it looks like to me. If you know the actual name of it, feel free to let me know. But I just wanted to take this beautiful piece and freshen it up and give it its second life. It's something that I absolutely love to do, is find old pieces that have served their purpose, and to give them a fresh face, a fresh new look, and let them kind of just have a second life to live on and just make people happy like me. It makes me so happy. So the first thing that I did with this project was to go ahead and clean it up. It's super dusty, cobwebs literally. It had been sitting back in like old dusty part of the house. And so we dug it out of there and found all kinds of other things. Maybe I'll make another video of some of the other stuff we found eventually. But anyway, distraction. So went ahead and wiped it down, got it cleaned up, and then I wanted to sand it to go ahead and get all of the rough flakes off of it that were built up over the years, like the scum and stuff that have built up over it. But I didn't want to go too hard because I didn't want to get rid of all of the little nicks and, imperfections of it, because that's what gives it its character. That's what makes it that piece so special. So I just very lightly went through it. I used a 240, I believe, piece of sandpaper on it, and just lightly went over the entire thing. I did not go into any of the grooves because I didn't want to damage it, like I said, or take away any pieces of character that were really in it. And I didn't also want to damage the mirror. So once I was done with that, I went ahead and wiped everything down again, cleaned it up really good, and then taped over the big part of the mirror, like I said, just to prevent any damage from happening. I didn't want, to hurt it with the sander. I didn't want to hurt it whenever I was painting it and get paint all over it or anything. So finished that all up, and then I was ready to paint. I happened to have on hand some Waverly chalk paint. You can get that at pretty much any of your craft stores. So that's what I decided to use today, and literally you just paint it on like you would. I used a soft bristle brush. That way it doesn't leave a whole lot of bristle marks into it. It went on really smoothly. It covered really well, but I didn't really get into the nooks and crannies because I wanted, again, to have like a distressed look to it. This piece is so beautiful on its own that I didn't want to have to, I don't know, mess with it too much. So this is part of how I've distressed it. It's just when I was actually applying the paint for a piece that you're working on, you may want the entire thing to be painted, sealed up, looking beautiful, and then you can distress it with the sandpaper to give it a really nice, clean finish. But I really liked the rough edges on this. I really liked all the little nicks that you can see in it, where a tool might have slipped, or where, who knows, over the years where it's just been banged up a little bit. So yeah, I just painted it. Like I said, I filled in some of the areas, but not too deep. You can kind of see that reflected in the video. And then when I was done, I let it dry. It dries really quick, so you don't have to wait super long. Then I went ahead and took the sanding paper that I had on my little tool. I have a sanding block. I was just too lazy to go get it. So I just used that to give the distress. So what I did is take it along the edges of the piece. Anywhere where I felt like there was too much paint buildup or where I wanted it to look a little more finished. And I just rubbed it on there, and to control your distress, basically the harder you push, the more paint's going to come off, which is going to give it a more harsh distressed look. If you accidentally take too much off, that's okay. You can add more back on with your paint. Just go back over it with your brush, let it dry, and then you can, go again. If you've never done it before, it can be a bit of a learning curve, but honestly, anyone can do it. So I believe in you. Give it a try. So yeah, after I went over and found the areas that I really wanted to, like I said, smooth out a little more or give it a little more distress if I thought too much paint was there, and just kind of even it out and make it all look like one final piece, I wiped it down, got all of the debris off of it again, and then with the Waverly chalk paint, they suggest that you use their wax to seal it, to give it protection, and also take away that, like, I don't know, chalky feel that the paint would leave behind. I happen to have some clear on hand, so I went ahead and did that with leftover piece of rag from a project that I had done before. I use that also for whenever I'm staining things or whatever. Anyway, so I took that cloth, I got a little bit of the wax on there, and I just gently rubbed over the entire piece, a nice thin layer of the wax to protect it. Now that it's all dry, it is gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I had plans on going ahead and adding it to my stuff to sell, but I think I'm going to hold on to this one for a little bit. I love it. I think it turned out to be absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, and there's just something so powerful with something that's physically made with someone's hands, especially whenever it's older like that. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys. I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you so much for checking back in with me. If you haven't yet and you want to subscribe to my channel, I would truly, truly, truly appreciate it. And I thank you guys for your support. I'm just over the moon with how great that you guys all are in supporting me and coming back. And I really want some more feedback from you guys. And yeah. So thank you guys so much. Let's take you in for a closer look. Please let me know in the comments how you feel about this piece. All right, I'll see you next time.